At the beginning of every month, you start saving, the month passes by. At the end of the month, you look at your bank account and you see nothing saved up. Let me tell you, you are not the only one. Today, I'm going to share with you 7 effective money tips, which will help you save money fast. To be specific, $10,000 fast. During my 20s, I really struggled saving money, and these money tips, which actually helped me to get out of the cycle and start saving immediately. When I'm talking about saving $10,000 fast, I'm talking about $10,000 a year. Now, when you think about saving $10,000 a year, it may seem, oh my God, it's a big number that I have to chase and hit it. That's why we need to break down the time frame. That's tip number 1. So if you break the whole time frame into small chunks of time frame and also break down the entire $10,000 into a small amount that you have to save, it actually makes it significantly easier for you to hit those numbers. It makes it looks like, oh my God, $10,000, I might just give up halfway through. But if it is smaller chunks, few $100s you have to save within a week or with every fortnight, suddenly it makes it easier to comprehend. It makes you feel, you know what, that's actually doable. Now let's break it down for you. When we're talking about $10,000 a year, that could be $833 a month. Then that's $384 every fortnight, that is 26 fortnights, and that's $192 a week. You can break it down to even a day, that's $27.40 a day. Now that we got all the things broken down to a week or a day, makes it much easier to actually do it. The tip number 2 that I have for you is pay yourself first before you start paying everyone else. As soon as you get paid, you got fixed expenses and variable expenses that you have to look after, right? You find money to pay rent, food, electricity, utility bills. As you're paying the money to somebody else, I want you to start thinking you need to pay yourself. Now, the way it works is you take out 10% of the money that you get paid every pay cycle. You transfer that automatically to a separate bank account. Obviously, you can create an automation using your internet banking. And then I would suggest to use a high interest savings account because that will generate a little bit of money on top of it. This is a very powerful tip. Just imagine you have $80,000 annual salary. If you're saving just 10% of it by just automatically transferring it, at the end of the year, you will see $8,000 saved up. The aim is to save $10,000 in a year. You're going to save $8,000 out of it without even implementing the rest of the tips. My next tip for you is you have to create a budget. To achieve any financial goal, creating a budget is extremely important. Now, how does it actually help? Firstly, it's going to show you your current financial position. You're going to write down all the incomings and outgoings in Excel sheet. I actually have an Excel sheet. It's completely free for you to use it. I put a link in the description, just download it and use it from day one. On that sheet, you're gonna write down the incoming amounts. Like incoming means your active income, the money you get paid every week, every fortnight, every month. Then if you have any passive income or money comes from your side gig, side hustle, just include in there as an incoming. Outgoings, you're gonna write down the necessities and variables. So necessity means like your electricity bill, water bill, utilities, food, rent, mortgage, all those things are a necessity. And then you're going to write down the variables like the buying coffee, dining out, going to the movies, buying clothing, all the things you generally do, write that down in there. Another help the budget will do is gives you better control. As now you can see all the expenses, you know what to do next time to cut back or to adjust a little bit or find a better solution for those items. It gives you better control. It's also going to give you flexibility. Let's say something came up, you just spent a little bit of money this week. You can actually adjust next week's expenses or next fortnight's expenses so that all expenses on average kind of marries up. It also makes it easier to follow the plan because now you can see not only this week, all the weeks, all the months ahead of you. On top of it, just making a budget is going to create a massive motivation for you to save because now you got a structure. That makes it much easier to start saving $27.40 a day or $192 a week. The next tip I have for you is tracking expenses and cut back where possible. So I'm going to talk about different avenues that you can look into and cut back if you see fit. Just looking into all these avenues could save you hundreds of dollars. That helps. That adds up to the overall target of saving $10,000 a year. The first avenue is just literally comparing month to month. 1 month, suddenly you're supposed to spend $2,000, you did that. And then the next month, the expenses went up to $3,000, right? Suddenly you realize what actually happened in that specific month. Why the extra $1,000? After looking into it, if you discover that that emergency came up, something broke down, you had to buy or fix, at least that expense is justifiable. Now, if you suddenly discover that you bought another 3 pairs of shoes that you didn't need, that's something you can track next time not to do, right? You can know that, okay, that's what I've done and that's what I have to control myself from doing again because that's going to help. The next avenue is unused subscriptions. Just make a list, like you make a list of Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube Premium, Spotify, all the things you use as a subscription level, and then justify the value of each of them. Any of them that you don't use, cancel them. Every subscription might save you like $10, $15 per month. If you cancel 2 of them, that's like $30 a month that you don't need. The next one is the utilities. Under that, you can look at your phone bill, water bill, electricity bill. Now on the phone bill, just see that do you really need that unlimited data. You can just downgrade to the amount that you actually need and use, and but downgrading it might save you like $20 a month. On electricity, you may just start becoming more cautious how you use electricity, right? And you can always look into the other electricity providers and find one that suits more to the requirement you have, and that just switching to another provider might save you another $20 or $30 a month. On the internet bill, you may look at how you use internet and how much data you use every single month. How you know that? If you look at last few months of a bill, the bill would tell you that what is your usage. Based on it, you can downgrade or choose an option that actually suits your lifestyle better. That way, you might just save another $20 a month. The next one is the transportation. Now, on the transportation, you might look at the insurance. Just look at other insurance companies who have similar credibility in the market, who can provide you similar value. Just switching to another insurance company of similar value, they might help you save another few $100s a year. That adds up to the ultimate goal, right? Then you have gas. So obviously gas prices changes every single day. So there are apps available in the market you can use that tell you what on a given day, which petrol station has got the cheapest rate advertised. In your local area, you can just go to the specific petrol station and fill up. You might just save $10 per fill up. The next one is car payment. You may just suddenly discover you have a car that is really expensive and you have a very high car payment. Just downgrade it to a vehicle that actually suits your lifestyle and provide you the need that you're trying to satisfy. That way you might save a few $100s a month from the loan payment. The final point I have on the transportation is maintenance. Like you might have a vehicle that is constantly breaking down and constantly you have to fix things to do it. Now, it might be better to consider spending a little bit more money to buy a decent vehicle that you don't have to fix every single time. That might save you money in long term. Next, you have food and beverage. Sometimes we buy things when we buy groceries. I used to buy things that I think I'm going to eat, usually the healthy stuff, but I never eat. It just literally sits in the fridge and it just goes off. That's one thing that I now avoid. I'm asking you guys to avoid too. Another thing is like, please don't buy in volume, especially the ones that are perishable. Because if you buy more volume than you actually need, it'll just go off. You'll just waste your money. The second thing you have is coffee. Now, every single time you buy coffee from outside, it costs $5. So if you just make coffee in-house and don't buy coffee from outside, that's $35 in a week, right? Stop buying lunch from outside. Obviously, a lot of times what I used to do that, now I don't do that anymore. But every single meal might cost like $15 to $20. If you work 9 to 5, 5 days, that's still $100 if it's $20 a meal, right? That's $400 a month. It all adds up. So instead of just buying lunch from outside, just bring lunch with you. You'll see that so much money you will save down the track. The next one I have on the food is just cutting down the number of times you dine out. You dine out once a week or twice a week, 8 times a month or 4 times a month. See that anything you can cut down from there. Instead of going 8 times a month, just go maybe 4 times a month. Instead of 4 times a month, go 3 times a month. Just cutting back a little bit more every single time, every single month, you will see it adds up and becomes quite massive. Sometimes when we are trying to save money, just tracking expenses, cutting them down and then following it, just not going to be motivating enough. We might need a stronger motivation. That's where you need to find your inner reason. That's my next tip. While you are in this saving journey, ask yourself the big question, why? Why you are actually need to save this money, right? If you have a purpose that at the end of the year, when you have saved up $10,000 and probably more than that you saved up, why you are trying to save in the first place, right? As soon as you discover that reason, you'll see going towards that goal makes it significantly easier because you're going to be significantly focused. Why I save? I came to Australia when I was just 18 and all my parents are overseas. And I want to actually bring them to Australia so they actually live with me. And then I'm saving so that I can actually look after them when they get old. I'm also saving for my family and so that I can provide them better, give them a better future. So I have my inner reason completely identified and it motivates me every single day and I can save because of it. So we got to stop buying things impulsively. That's my next tip. When you are just walking down the road, you see something from the window, you like it, you just go and buy it. You don't even know that you can afford it. If you can't, you suddenly put that on the credit card. That just adds up to the debt, right? Or you just go to the shop to buy only one thing and buy 10 other things you actually don't need. All these things are impulsive purchases that stops you from saving money. You're just always gonna chase your tail. It's really important that you shop with list, and whatever on the list, you just buy that one and come out. And then whenever next time you see anything from the window and you think you like it or need it, ask yourself, do you really need it? Can you wait another month? Can you wait another 6 months for that to happen? If the answer is yes, then hold back. The final tip I have is to stop ego buying. A lot of times we buy things not because we need it, not because we want it, not because we buy it out of impulsive tendencies. We buy it because we feel that we need to show off to my friends, to my relative, to the people that I don't even know in the social media. And suddenly you buy it and you took a photo, put it up on the social media, or you tell your friends, and honestly, he doesn't care. No one cares, okay? I think that we think that, the people who buy things out of ego, we actually think that. We have to get out of this mental cycle that what other people think about us. It's not about that. It's about what do you think of yourself. If you are proud of yourself, if you think that everything you're doing in life, you're doing well, you're providing for your family, you look after your parents, you look after your children, and everything you do, you work hard, come back home, you're doing enough, you're doing a lot. Have some pride to yourself. You don't have to show off. You have to stop thinking what other people think for yourself. By following these 7 money tips, you'll be able to save $10,000 very fast. If you're really struggling to save money, if you can't reduce the expenses, you gotta increase the income, because that'll be another way to actually make money and save that $10,000 at the end of the year. You can pick up a side hustle. Side hustles like you can drive Uber during the weekend, 6-7 hours a week. You can deliver food, you can deliver parcels. Remember, all you have to do, you have to make $192 a week, because as soon as you save or make extra $192 a week, that becomes $10,000 a year. Now you'll be thinking like, when I'm going to start, is it the right time for me? Maybe at the beginning of next month, I'm going to do it. Or at the beginning of next year, it looks like a new year, and that would be my new year resolution. Don't think about that. Start from today. Start from now. Like Nike says, just do it. If this is your first time here, my name is Minhaj. I started this YouTube channel so that I can help you live a happy, wealthy, and productive life. So please subscribe so that I can help you too. If you find value in any point in time, hit the like button. Don't forget to explore the links on the screen. You might find something you want to click on. Keep watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.